I'm going to show you how to make these even better. Hey y'all, I'm Valerie and welcome to my kitchen. In today's video, I'm showing you 3 creative ways to take store-bought cinnamon rolls to the next level. Now let's go ahead and get started. Okay y'all, this strawberry cream cheese cinnamon roll casserole is so good. In a large bowl, you're going to add 8 ounces of softened cream cheese. And of course, mine wasn't softened, so I had to put that in the microwave for just a few seconds. I also added half a cup of granulated sugar, but you can cut that back a little if you'd like, but we just have a sweet tooth around here. And I also added about a teaspoon of vanilla. Just mix it up until it's very well combined. You're going to need 2 of the 12.4 ounce cans of cinnamon rolls, but not just yet, and save those icing packs for the topping. And don't pay attention to me here. I just got excited about those cinnamon rolls, and I got a little ahead of myself. You'll need 1 can of strawberry pie filling. Right now, I'm only adding in half, but I'll add that other half in a little bit here. And you can also change up that pie filling. You could do blueberry, cherry, or even apple. That would be really good. I just gave that a quick stir before I add in the cinnamon rolls. I just used 2 cans of the Pillsbury Original. And I cut each of those cinnamon rolls into 6 pieces. Now you're just going to stir that together and get them coated in that strawberry cream cheese. I'm using a 9 by 13 inch baking dish for this. You do want to make sure you grease it or spray it with some kind of nonstick spray. Then go ahead and add in those cinnamon rolls. And just in case you're new here, I always have the full recipe either linked or typed out in my description box below. And I just tried to spread that out a little into an even layer. Now you're going to take that other half of strawberry pie filling that we used a little bit ago, and I just spooned it evenly over the top of the casserole. Now this goes into the oven to bake at 350 for 30 to 40 minutes, or until it's bubbly around the edges and that top is a little golden brown. And while it was still warm, I drizzled over that icing that came in the cinnamon roll cans. This would be really good to make for the holidays coming up, or it'd be a good brunch, or we love to have this on the weekends. It was delicious. And don't forget, feel free to change up that pie filling and get creative and use anything you like. These cinnamon roll pigs in a blanket are definitely something you need to try. I'm making this a little easier and I'm just using pre-cooked sausage links. This is optional, but I did want to brown them up a little just to get a little color on them. And that was a 10 count box I used. I'm also using 8 of the regular size cinnamon rolls. Also save that icing to drizzle over at the end. And by the way, if you're enjoying these easy recipes, I would really appreciate it if you would give me a thumbs up. It really does help out my channel. And if you'd like, hit that subscribe button. That way you don't miss out on any of my future videos. Okay, this is the fun part. You're going to take that cinnamon roll and you're going to unroll it and then tear it in half. Then you're going to lay down a sausage link and roll it up. And it took me a couple and then I learned a little trick. I kind of pulled on them and stretched them a little bit as I was rolling them up. I was able to cover that sausage up a little better, and it looked prettier at the end with more of those little layers. But either way you do it, as long as you get them rolled up, they'll turn out just fine. Now each cinnamon roll will make 2 pigs in a blanket. So if you want to make all 8 of them, you'll need a total of 16 sausage links. This was just a 10-count box. I ended up having 3 leftover cinnamon rolls. These turned out so good, so next time I'll definitely buy 2 boxes of the sausage links. I'm just using a 9x13-inch baking dish for these. If you're making a lot though, you could always do it on a sheet pan. Just make sure they're about 1 inch apart. That way they don't get stuck together. And I had to add in those leftover cinnamon rolls. I baked these at 350 for 15 to 20 minutes. I had to think about that. You'll know they're done when the top is golden brown. These turned out so cute. Now I'm going to take that icing and drizzle it over the top. And it does not have to be pretty, as long as you get it on there. Because let me tell you, it is not easy to squeeze it out of these little packs and make it look pretty. If you wanted, you could even spread it out with a spatula. These were absolutely adorable, not to mention very tasty. They were so good. A great change up from the regular old pigs in a blanket. Now I'm sure I'm going to make these many times before Christmas, but this will definitely be on our Christmas morning breakfast list, 'cause the kids love them. This cinnamon roll monkey bread is one you've got to try. In a large bowl, I added 3/4 cup of granulated sugar and about 2 teaspoons of cinnamon. Just give that a little whisk. I'm using 3 of the 12.4 ounce cans of cinnamon rolls, and I cut each of those into 4 pieces. I tried to keep those quarters together, but some of those layers were trying to break apart on me, but it turned out fine. Now you're just going to toss those around and make sure they're completely covered in that cinnamon sugar. If you had a pretty large Ziploc bag, you could probably add all this to a bag and shake it up. When you get them all covered, now we're going to add them to a bundt pan. And my bundt pan is the Wilton 9.5 inch, and it filled it up pretty good. Just keep in mind, as this bakes, those cinnamon rolls are going to puff up as they rise. I didn't have much sugar left over, but if you do, you can just sprinkle it on the top. Now we're going to make up a little butter sugar mixture. In a large saucepan, I added 12 tablespoons of butter. Just whisk it and let that completely melt down. Now I'm adding in 1/2 cup of brown sugar. And you're just going to whisk it until that sugar is completely dissolved. I just had mine on about medium heat, and this mixture turned into like a delicious caramel sauce. I would even make this to pour over like some ice cream. When that mixture is well combined, you can remove it from the heat and head back over to the counter. Now I'm just pouring all of that caramel sauce into that bundt pan. And I just tried to make sure I covered all of those cinnamon roll pieces. I let this bake at 350 for 40 to 50 minutes. You just want to make sure it's cooked through, and you'll see on top, the top gets golden brown. And you can see how full my bundt pan got. So just make sure you don't want to use a small one for this. I let it cool in the pan for about 5 minutes, and then I flipped it out onto a cake plate. And I know this already had a lot of sugar in it, but of course I couldn't let those icing packs go to waste. So I used them to drizzle over the top, even though most of it ended up all in the middle there. We'll just call that the dipping spot. This turned out so good, and I've used biscuit dough to make monkey bread before, but the cinnamon rolls were even better. I really hope you enjoyed this video. You may also like these. Don't forget to subscribe down below so you don't miss out on any of my future videos, and I will see you in the next one.